Yes. I just got to be better at timing it. Shoot. What is up, everyone? It is Alabama week. It is our 1 year anniversary of doing the Sooner Smith or doing Voice of College Football Oklahoma, and our I don't know how many weeks we've been doing Sooner Smith Live. I think like 21 shows, so about that long.
Yeah, it's our year anniversary. We started before Bama.
Yeah, but our actual Sooner Smith Live show, I wasn't sure how long it's been since we started. Maybe that's what we called it, but it wasn't officially.
Yeah. Oh, I don't know.
But yeah, awesome. It's Alabama week. We have a awesome show. I think today we're going to have one of the, just most insane football. He knows stuff that I can't even recall. We were on his show earlier, Jackson Johnson, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was Jackson Johnson, voice of college football, Alabama. One of just the best people. And it's a malt versus shake chat. Yeah, it's a shake all day. Milkshake all day.
Oh yeah, shake. Sorry, my brother chose his
malts are weird.
Malts.
Yeah, malts are.
Stacey's a malt person. I said I preferred shake, so she said that needs.
Stacey, sorry to say they're weird. That needs to
be our comment at the end.
That is,
malt or shakes.
Malt or shake. Also, Brahms. She finally had a Brahms hamburger. I saw, which is elite. Anyways, let's get started. My name is Chad Smith.
I'm Tierney Smith,
and we are the voice of college football Sooner Smith's live show, coming every Monday at 7. Sorry, I'm looking at the malts and comments now. On YouTube, and then also streaming on Twitter and on, I think, Facebook as well. If you're over there, hop in the YouTube chat. Let us know what you think about this game coming up. We're excited to have our guest on here in a moment. But overall, I'm just kind of going to talk about what we think the key matchup will be, what we think the the biggest stories going into the game in terms of what will dictate a victory for us. Then we got, obviously, Zeno zone to end the night.
Definitely. Just some of the things, since Chad's not used to doing the intro because he's normally still doing things. Just don't forget to check out our merch store at VOCFB.com/merch, where you could find Voice of College Football Oklahoma items. We have tumblers and t-shirts, some Zeno Zone shirts as well. There's hats, some polos, and just really, it's a good way for you guys to support us and our channel here. Additionally, you can join. You can subscribe to our channel. That is always free. We'd always appreciate that. Subscriptions and likes and shares all that is so awesome. And then the last but not least is why I'm going blank. You can become a member of our channel for as low as $2.99 a month. And there's just some added benefits there. We will feature your chats. We're going to try to have some extra videos out for you guys, and just really building that community overall. And also, if you want us to feature your chat, super chat is always a good way for us to make sure that we do put that on the live screen or to talk about it. 99.99% of super chats we will feature. You can't say something outrageous or that would get us in trouble with the government or our mothers. Yeah. So other than that, we do appreciate super chat as well. It's another way for you guys to support us. So yeah, check out the merch store, subscribe to the channel, become a member, and then you can follow us. You can see our ads at the bottom there on social medias as well. It's good to see a lot of our regulars back. Hello, Stacy. Hello, Boomer or 1982 Boomer Sooner. Haven't seen Steve yet. Haven't seen Sark's daddy or Jay. Haven't seen him yet either, but I'm sure they'll be rolling in here in a little bit. And Jonathan, I saw Jonathan earlier. Hello, Jonathan. He also I did have a good first day. It was mostly orientation, but And
if you're watching on YouTube, if you could throw a like and maybe a comment in the post, it helps kind of spread the message and get more viewers to join us on hopefully the YouTube chat. So if you're watching on Twitter,
Boomer Sinner says, Tierney, what was that? What was what?
Tierney, what was that? I don't know. What'd you do?
I don't know. I don't know what to do.
Oklahoma facing Alabama. We are 6.5-point underdogs on the road, so 3.5 at a neutral site. We are coming off a bye week. We are 4-1 coming off a bye, with our last 4 byes being Kent State, Alabama, UCF, and Iowa State. So I guess kind of good vibes in that sense. You're an 80% win rate. Also 4-1 on our last 5 against Alabama. We since 2002, the last one we lost was obviously the 2018 college football playoff game, in which we gave them too much of a lead. Yeah, we dominated the last 3 quarters. Just 4-quarter game. Unfortunately,
that was the game where we had a fumble, but then they called it they called it that he was down, which he probably was, but
Oh
it was
yeah,
kind of like nitpicky.
yeah.
And then the one where the ball was still moving, right? And they still
On
called it a
Jared, yeah,
touchdown.
Jerry Judy's
Why
hands,
do I
yeah.
remember that? That's crazy. I don't, as you know here, I'm usually not good at remember these specific types of events.
We all think we're good until the guy we have on comes on, and then it's like,
He
whoa,
mentioned a game the
2009,
2009 LSU Ole Miss, and I
yeah,
was like,
something like that.
I was in ninth grade. I have no idea.
It's like, okay.
I mean, I watched football back then, but I barely remember any OU games from 2009, let alone
Yeah,
somebody else's.
the dude,
Crazy.
he's wild. So obviously, going into the game, it is going to come down to, I think, just, I guess, key, kind of going off of what we talked about earlier, just keys to victory for each team. For me, it really does just come down to, can John Mateer take the easy play, and can he continue to run with aggression? And I think that opens him up so much in terms of confidence early in a game, where he really can play free and doesn't worry about making the mistake at that point. And I'm hoping that the Tennessee second half game really just kind of brought him a lot of confidence. He really played differently that second half, and it's something I'm really excited to see, T. And before Jack's backstage right now, we want to bring him on in a second, but just kind of giving your thoughts on what your keys to victory are for each team.
So my keys to victory for Oklahoma are, I think I said it in the Alabama game, is who has the run game and the turnovers are going to win this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's the same for how it was with the Tennessee game. Once we were able to establish the run and shut down, making them one-dimensional, I think that's going to be a big thing. I think Alabama is already a little bit one-dimensional, but that doesn't mean they don't have good running backs. They have, was it Daniel Hill and Jam Miller?
Mm-hmm.
And, I mean, those guys, they can move. So I believe, like, we have to have the running game consistent. Same thing, can John make the easy play? Can he just, can he do enough? And then the turnover battle, I believe if we win that, we'll be fine. Same thing with last year. We won the turnover battle. We shut down the run game. We win. So I think that is still the same recipe. Maybe that's too simple.
Yeah.
But I just truly believe that way. But yeah.
And we'll talk more and more about that. But we want to, without further ado, introduce one of our favorites of the network, maybe my favorite of the network, the guy who has the best intros, has the best football brain. I think if there's ever a phone a friend, phone a million, and if you ever know who wants to be a millionaire, and it's a football question, my goodness, you couldn't have a better guy in your pocket. So without further ado, Mr. Jackson Johnson, welcome, man.
Friend Chad, friend Tyranny, how are y'all doing tonight?
Doing well. How are you?
I'm doing all right, man. It is, man. Like we started together on July 14th of 2025 for the early preview, and now,
boom,
we're back for the game itself. And 8 more days, and it's your 1-year anniversary of being at Oklahoma at the Voice of College Football.
Yeah, I mean, we've loved it. It's been absolutely awesome. So going into this game, kind of overall thoughts on just quick thoughts really on the 2025 season for Alabama. Obviously, you got to love college football. It starts and everyone's wondering, is Kalen DeBoer going to be it? Or are they going to spend $140 million to buy him? And I never got into that because it was a ridiculous.
I know, right?
It's like, I mean, what are you talking? No one ever thinks about who you're going to hire if you fire a coach.
At least you didn't get text messages or phone calls of you need to be more mad at Kalen DeBoer.
Yeah, it's like, and I get, it didn't. And even now, it's college football. One of those weird games because it doesn't look like Florida State was the juggernaut we thought they were going to be, especially the first 4 weeks of the season. But one of those games, and it's turned out Alabama is shockingly good at football. So it is turned into expectations for a program like Alabama. What are as a fan, and what have been your thoughts overall in the season, and just kind of where it's at right now?
Well, honestly, week 1, looking back at that Florida State loss, Ty Simpson did not have that much trust in his instincts. For example, you look at that throw on 4th and 1 in the tail end of the third quarter. He was wanting to run, but then he was like, you know what? I'm going to throw to Ryan Williams. And Ryan Williams just bobbles it. Incomplete, right?
Mm-hmm.
That was a shining example of not trusting himself. But then we heard it all. We heard all this stuff about DeBoer should be God. DeBoer should just go away forever. He's not going to win anything for Alabama. You smack Louisiana Monroe off the face of the earth, chew him up like a chicken nugget. That's what
Isn't
you're
that 70? It's like 73-0 or something like that.
Oh, yeah. 73-0.
Wow.
And we beat up on Wisconsin. Just kind of like took it easier on them than Maryland did, to tell you the truth.
Mm-hmm.
But then that Georgia game. Can Georgia get it done against Crimson Tide? No, I don't think so. Alabama gets it done. Alabama gets it done once again. And what you've noticed throughout the season is Ty Simpson has more trust in his instincts than he did in game one. He learned fast from his mistakes. And it's funny though, week one, you heard about Simpson should be benched after the loss. But then week 6, 7, you hear Joel Klatt saying if his last name was Manning, he should be the Heisman front runner. That's what it would be if his last name was Manning. I mean, you heard it all over the place for Simpson. I mean, like the Heisman races nowadays, Fernando Mendoza and A&M's quarterback, but I don't care. I'm not there playing Heisman. I want to see a natty.
Yeah, I think Oklahoma fans would agree specifically. We've gotten plenty
Heisman, so I'm good.
Spoils of the rich, I guess, for both programs in that regard. It's one of those. Granted, at least you've seen natty since you could drive. Mine was in 2000 when I was 8 years old. I don't remember it at all. So,
oh man,
a couple and heartbroken. But I got a quick question, and we'll get to a couple on for you going in. It kind of leads into what I was going to ask you about this Alabama offense. For those that didn't get a watch, we went on with Jackson earlier. Go check that if you want to hear that breakdown as well. I had mentioned in that one that it's funny because Alabama seems to be a one-dimensional offense, but it almost seems like they're not afraid to be. We lost Jackson there for a sec. Just kind of going into that though, I guess just off of that thought, and if he comes back, we'll definitely bring him back up. But Alabama seems to be on offense to me a one-dimensional team, and that they're okay with being that. Every team that plays them knows they struggle to run the football. They haven't had a good, for whatever reason, a good way to find consistent run game. Not unfamiliar to Oklahoma fans either, but it is something that has caused them issues, and they still continue to find ways to win. And I think that I know that the Oklahoma breakdown has started to say it, but it's a phrase that you've heard growing up your whole life. Winners win, and winning's a skill. More teams lose games. Teams usually lose games. They don't win them whenever you have comparable talent. And for Oklahoma, it seems that they have somewhat found a consistent running game to take on the road. And it seems that they have the defense I haven't been worried about. I don't know if I can let myself be worried about them with what we are concerned with offensively right now. But it is, for me, one thing that has kind of made us. Oh, we got Jackson back. Hey.
Yeah, my desktop messed around with me. So
no worries.
I thought you and Trevion.
No worries.
Switch
yeah.
Places.
But no, just going to that question about the offense. How has it been? I know the run game has struggled a little bit, but overall, you kind of complement that with the fantastic quarterback in pass game. Just offense kind of, and then this DeBoer overall, is he more of a run first mix or pass first? Kind of what has his offensive style been?
I think honestly, it's just been kind of a pass first mix, to tell you the truth. I mean, because it's not all on Ryan Williams this season, as you notice. It's been the Jeremy Bernard, it's been the Lottie Brooks, it's been the Cuevas, Riley, Horton. We're throwing to somebody. We're even throwing to Hill. We're throwing to Miller. We're throwing to all our guys.
Yeah.
It's just been all over the place. And I have to say, it was way more of an improvement than it was last season, because we got way too overly reliant on Ryan Williams. This year, we've been doing all right, where it's like some people have asked, where's Ryan Williams? Where's Ryan Williams? He's with us. No worries. He's all good. We're just making sure the pressure's not all on him.
Right.
Which is a good thing. I mean, it's the same thing, I think, for us defensively. People will be like, well, where's so-and-so been? Where's so-and-so been? And it's like, well, when you got depth, they don't have to do everything. It's like where in years past, it seems like if Danny Stutzman didn't have a big game, we know we're kind of in for it. So I mean, it's a nice problem to have for sure. But then like he's there. Don't worry. Like give him the chance, he'll make the play. I will say that one thing that I was kind of shocked with watching the LSU game, and I believe you guys mentioned it, is how it wasn't a very good offensive outing. And I mentioned to my family, I said, "Don't worry, Alabama will catch all these balls next week that they're dropping this week. So don't worry about that. They'll make sure to have sticky hands against Oklahoma. How it always seems to work."
And I'm just glad Alabama Oklahoma is a conference game. Like me personally, I think it's pretty cool, especially looking back at some of the series history, like the 2014 Sugar Bowl, looking back at the 63 Orange Bowl, where you see JFK attending it. And like that was pretty. I mean, it's like Georgia Tech spoiled our chances at repeating in 62, but we got a little nice consolation win in the Orange Bowl. That was fun, especially in color TV on NBC.
Yeah, but
a little bit before Bonanza, but that was fun. And 2014 was a fun game, and I think 2025 is going to be a fun game as well.
I do think, it's weird. It's one of those where Oklahoma's done well with Alabama and done well against them. And some of that might be for the 2014 year. I know it was a year in which you weren't really excited to play in the bowl game. But, for Oklahoma's credit, they seem to have done well in terms of whenever they've had to face Alabama. Last year, I think, shocked everybody, even Oklahoma fans. A great comment up here said, tell well, hold on, sorry, that wasn't it. It was tell the Alabama guest that they may win. Oh, tell your buddy. tell, also a regular for us, an awesome guy, but tell your buddy they can have the W fine, but they can't take away my first ever field storm in football. That was awesome sauce. Yeah, that was. And we were at the game. It was really, really cool to see.
Oh man, you started off Oklahoma with the voice of college football in style.
I'm telling you, you couldn't have had a better
But then
one.
the next 2 weeks we were very upset. So
going back to Alabama just real quick. Your thoughts on your defense? Y'all had. I have my notes here from our preview that you 10 returning starters. Obviously, Damani Jackson, Tim Keenan, Dante Lawson, LT Overton as key players, at least noted here. How have those guys been overall, or this defense overall? Has it lived up? And then I have a couple offensive questions again, but just to
it's been amazing.
It seems like it's going to be one of the best that OU will face. And maybe up there with any of them, if not the best.
Oh man, Yahtzee Pierre's been tremendous, and Bray Hubbard, and as Trevion put in tonight's edition of Crimson Tide Live, Hubbard has been a ball hawk throughout this season. I mean, he's been a baller throughout this 2025 season. That's a name you want to look out for on Saturday on ABC. But honestly, the problem we've had is being able to stop the run game on defense. We cannot do that for some reason. I mean, I'm going ahead and looking at it now, in the SEC, we're below Florida in stopping the run game.
Dang.
That's bad.
Same Florida that lost to Kentucky.
Yeah, they got chewed up like a chicken nugget by Kentucky. I mean,
alligator nugget.
They're now 3-5.
Yeah.
Versus Kentucky since 2018, and yes, we count the 2021 win for Kentucky here at the Voice College Football Network.
I think for Oklahoma fans, it's music to a lot of ears because we've struggled. Well, I will say this: we've struggled in this season overall. I think you could say in running the ball, but when you look at the last 3 games, and I have it noted here, and if I can find my notes real quick, but I think we're averaging 166 yards per game. Xavier Robinson's really come on and been kind of a stalwart for us in the back half. He's the running back that had a good year against Alabama, kind of coming out party last year against Alabama, and has really kind of picked it up for us in the last 3. We have 500 yards rushing at 4.84 per carry. So basically 5 yards a carry, and kind of coming on right whenever you want to at the end of the year. If you're Oklahoma looking at for some kind of silver lining or something that's encouraging going into the game for sure. But for me, it's been watching Alabama, and I'm curious your thoughts here on the offensive side. the lack of the run right now for a guy like a Jam Miller, who very, very highly touted coming into the season. Has there been mixes up front in terms of establishing an offensive line? I know that Caden Proctor was a big time. He does the Iowa thing and then comes back, and there's all this drama. And I know he's rated real high, but one lineman doesn't make an offensive line. Where's the struggles been in terms of just the run game, and then what do you kind of see them doing Saturday in terms of do you see them trying to establish it on Oklahoma, whose run defense is BV is notorious or known for?
Oh, it's gonna be rough for Alabama right there, because I mean I'm looking at Oklahoma's defense in the run game. They're below Texas in stopping the run game for the SEC.
Yeah,
and the total yards per game, they're above everybody. They're allowing the least amount of yards with 264 total yards allowed per game. Alabama's below them in third with 303 yards allowed per game. And stopping the pass game, like Alabama's second in passing yards allowed per game for the SEC. Oklahoma is fourth in passing yards allowed per game. But, Oklahoma and Alabama have just been really good at just making sure they're not allowing any points. Not allowing any points whatsoever. Good grief. It's just been holy Toledo. It's been amazing for both Alabama and Oklahoma. And I'm looking at, yikes. The passing games. Man. I think it had a lot to do with that shoulder injury with Mateer. I think that's had a humongous effect.
Or that thumb injury?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just, I feel like if he hadn't suffered the thumb injury and not just come back too soon, just kind of waited.
Yeah.
I think Oklahoma would be fine. I mean, you don't have a guy named Joe John as your offensive coordinator anymore. You got Ben Arbuckle.
Yeah.
Joe John sounds like, guy that's working for Butch Strickland at King of the Hill.
To your John Mateer injury, post-injury point, and I'll let T get in and ask a couple questions here, but for me, the biggest difference has been, obviously, it's still bothering him. I don't know if you saw him walking into the game against Tennessee, but some OU fan grabbed his thumb as he was walking in. He was trying to, which, John, have awareness. Don't be going through the high five line with your right hand up. But an OU fan grabs his hand and squeezes it, and he does this real bad. You could tell it's still bothering him, and he grimaces bad, and you could tell it still hurts him whenever that happens. That's before the Tennessee game, and then I look at his rush numbers, and before the injury, so this is Illinois State to Auburn. His lowest yards were 24 against Illinois State. He goes 24, 74 against Michigan, 63 against Temple, and 30 against Auburn. After that, he goes 5 against Texas. Didn't run it that much, but he had 14 attempts. Then he goes 14 on 8 attempts against South Carolina, 17 on 13 attempts against Ole Miss, and then has the breakout 80 yards on 16 attempts against Tennessee. So, again, it's one of those where I think it's really bothering him in terms of going into those tackles and worried about how am I going to land? Am I going to land on my thumb and
which he was also
pop out
having a banged up knee too.
Had a sprained knee issue that's healed up a little bit.
You could tell when you were watching him run, it's like he was running through quicksand.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't the same surefire I'm going to get there, I'm going to run running hard. It was slow motion, and so you could definitely tell that something was affecting him, and physically spilling over into mentally. He said over and over again himself, no, it's not bothering me physically, it's not bothering me physically, it's not bothering me. But why would you ever say, oh no, it hurts because then the defense will be like, all right, let's go after that thumb, or let's go after that knee. So, and also he's also just seems like that type of guy that's not gonna try to find any type of way to make any type of excuses. He's not even gonna hint at it. It's just gonna be I didn't play well enough, I need to do better, instead of being wow, I can barely grip the ball, or hey, when I plant my knee, it really hurts. Things like that. So I can understand that for sure. But hopefully he's found his mojo back. It seemed like I said in your show, that second half of the Tennessee game, it's he finally was just you know what? It's just football. I can do this. I've already done it before, and he played freely, and definitely was more the John Mateer that we saw at the beginning of the season before the injury.
It seems like a couple people are wondering about the defensive line for Oklahoma versus the Alabama offensive line. John Reed asks, will Alabama offensive line be able to hold the quick Oklahoma D line? How are your thoughts on the O line right now for Bama in that kind of?
I think we can hold the Oklahoma defensive line. I think Alabama can hold it, but I think there's going to be a lot of pressure on quarterbacks. I think you're going to be seeing our Bama guys put a lot of pressure on Mateer, and I think you're going to be seeing a lot of Oklahoma guys put a ton of pressure on Simpson. And just looking at the defensive numbers alone throughout the 2025 season, it makes me feel like this is going to be a very low scoring game. Just very low scoring. And just seeing Oklahoma's D-line against the Alabama offensive line, if we're running the ball, we're in trouble.
Yeah.
If they're putting a ton of pressure on Simpson, which I'm sure they will, then we can really get in trouble. I mean, some people that say, oh, Oklahoma, Alabama beat Oklahoma. It's like, yeah, I hold off on that for a moment. Because that looks more like a 50-50 game to me.
I kind of agree. I think it's I think it's going to be a pretty good game. I don't see either team blowing the other out really, unless you start. I think for Oklahoma, what worries you is we've made so many mistakes where they've been at really inopportune times. Even again the Tennessee game, you have the for no reason at all throwing the ball and throwing the interception and giving them life. At Ole Miss, you finally take the lead and come back, and then you give up a touchdown drive, and then you have that deflating drive after, and then you hold Ole Miss to a punt, and you're going to get the ball back, a short punt, and you get a good return by Isaiah Satanga, and you're going to get the ball at like your own 47, but he jumps and fumbles the ball, and Ole Miss gets it right back, and then turns that into I believe a field goal. Maybe they could punt it again, but I mean, just killer mistakes in those inopportune times for OU. OU's also been fairly penalized, annoyingly. How has Alabama been on the penalties?
We've been all right on the penalties. Like, it's nowhere near like 2022. And oh my god, like that was just so miserable seeing so many penalties just week after week. But we haven't seen that many penalties this year. So it makes me feel like things are all right.
Can I ask you this question? Why are the SEC refs just so bad? What is it, dude? It's so frustrating.
Oh man, like my guy Jeffrey does not like the refs either, especially from Georgia Auburn.
Right.
Like, oh man, like it was just so miserable. Like watching that Georgia Auburn game.
What's frustrating for like us as OU fans is like we know we have a good defensive line, and it's just like they allow offensive lines to hold us, and not just like a little bit ticky. Like they're getting their heads like in chokeholds and getting spun around, and there's just like there. I don't think someone said I don't think we've gotten a holding call that's benefited us since like Auburn or something like that.
Yeah, no,
it's insane. And I always say like, if I can see it, it's pretty egregious because I'm not necessarily always looking for that, or I'm not looking for it being like, the small holds here and there. Like,
well, you can look at the OU Texas game, the Arch Manning touchdown pass. R. Mason Thomas beats his guy, and he's literally getting choked. Like the guy's elbow is wrapped around his arm is wrapped around his neck, and he's rushing like this, and they don't even. I mean, it takes away a touchdown. It's a 15-yard penalty, and they don't even call it. He's getting held again and multiple times.
He was getting held during the scoop and score. He was getting held before.
So those Texas guys are whining about horns down.
Yeah,
but they can put a guy in a chokehold. Like,
well, and granted, holdings missed all the time on both. But Ohio State, I don't know if you saw that stat. It's been almost 2 years since their last holding call on their defensive line. Almost 2 years, and it's one of those things where it's weird how the better the defense is, it seems like the less calls you get because they don't want to give anyone breaks. It's weird to me how that happens.
Or it's like they know the only way you can stop them is to hold, especially somebody like an R. Mason Thomas. It really is crazy.
You had mentioned a couple players to watch, Bray Hubbard being one. Can you go over just your couple guys on offense, couple on defense that you think are going to be the difference makers for Alabama?
Josh Cuevas is a guy to look out for. He is the X factor. Lottie Brooks is an X factor for Alabama on offense, and
Cuevas, the tight end, right? Number 80?
Josh Cuevas tight end.
Yeah.
Because I mean, you're all going to be watching for Bernard Williams, Isaiah Horton, because Horton hears the Tide, right?
Yeah.
Oh, man, I just love saying that, But yeah, like you're watching for Horton and you're watching for Brooks even. Lottie Brooks. That X factor. That's just been key momentum for Alabama's offense. But you want to keep an eye on Cuevas and Kevin Riley as well.
What a name.
Those guys get the ball. Kevin Riley, yeah, I'm sorry. I'm not messing with him. He'll get ugly real quick.
Now, who's the number 4, the running back that y'all have? He's the guy that I've been really
Daniel Hill.
Daniel Hill. Okay.
Yeah,
he's a guy that I've been kind of impressed by. On he just looks like he's always getting tough yards. Big old guy too.
Yeah, he's a guy to look out for the Crimson Tide. Like, no one's really talked about him a lot this year, but he did score a touchdown for Bama against LSU last Saturday, so that was a win right there.
I think it's kind of, he reminds me of a lot of X-Rob, where it just seems like he's always falling forward, even when he gets stopped early, which
it's making something out of nothing.
Yeah. Any question?
I feel like we've kind of low key touched on keys to victory, like kind of throughout the answers. But I'm gonna go ahead and ask anyway. What do you think are the keys to victory for Alabama?
Well, we have to make sure we're utilizing just enough of a run game. Make sure we go through that Oklahoma defense. And of course, we have to put a ton of pressure on John Mateer. You do that, you're good to go. Put a ton of pressure on Mateer. It's going to be easy street for the Crimson Tide.
Yeah, and I think for Oklahoma fans, we know that he can get, and you'll see it early, he can get so quick-footed. Happy feet, and hopefully he's working on that. But man, it kills him sometimes because he can't throw with accuracy, he can't throw decisively, and it just, he floats it when he does that, and hopefully he can, it's an improvement coming into this game where he's not making those kind of mistakes. But for me, T, what are your kind of, I guess we'll give our kind of overall these questions after we let Jackson,
we said it before Jackson came on. Like, my keys to victory are getting a running game established as well as shutting down the run. So I think whoever has the better running game and whoever wins the turnover battle is going to be the winner of this game. Now, that goes back to, like you said, getting pressure on both the quarterbacks and who's going to make the mistakes and who's not. Or in the running game, who's going to make mistakes or not, who's going to get it going, who's not. And so I think they could just all bleed into each other. But those are my 2 biggest things, because that was the blueprint last year. The running game and the turnovers. That was a blueprint against Tennessee. And so that's just where I am, to be as basic as possible, I suppose.
For me, it's going to be, I think, and Jackson wondered what you think of Ryan Grubb's media or scrum today, or press conference, where he mentioned this, changing all their signals today, all their hand signals. And what I like about what he said, though, he goes, they do everything within the parameters of the game, though. There's nothing illegal about what they do. They're good at what they do. You certainly have to take that into consideration. And that's what I was saying. Like when Lane Kiffin came out and said that before the Ole Miss game, I think a lot of people thought Connor Stallions immediately and thought it was but sign stealing, quote unquote, or I always say deciphering in a game is, I mean, my dad, when he coached there in the 90s, it was one of his jobs was to try to get signs down. Every single team does that. There's not a team in the world that doesn't have someone up there trying to get
that whole Connor Stallions thing. Like, a lot of people they kind of just made that whole thing into their whole personality, whether if it was, it got so irritating by 2025. like 2023, I'm like, I gotta go see Killers of the Flower Moon. I mean, this is one of my few off days, and I gotta hear about Harbaugh getting suspended. Come on.
Yeah. There was, and he was just doing something so different than
And I don't know. To me, that's almost an advantage for OU, because in the sports I played, if you straight up changed the signs one week on me, and I had a pretty good memory, I'd be like, oh, wait, hold on.
Right.
Like, what does that one mean? That one meant this last week. Now it means that, like, that would almost mess me up.
Yeah.
And again, maybe he's not changing the signs. Maybe he's just saying they're going to do it.
Yeah, a little
because
bit
to
of
me, I don't
gamesmanship
know
there.
if I'd have enough trust in my players to be like, oh, right, when I'm just going back to like softball. If I touch my hat, like we're
Right.
gonna do this. If I,
No, I think that's fair.
but this week, if I touch my hat, we're gonna do that. Like I would just be like,
Yeah, I think that's totally
which
fair.
one's
I would be
what?
the same way.
Yeah, I mean, you'll see it like this in Major League Baseball. You'll see a
Right.
lot of signs like that, but it's like you don't hear anybody getting upset over that.
So I guess so. We've gotten your just take overall kind of some keys and players to watch. Position battles. We talked really about the main one with the Alabama O line and OU defensive line. Is there any other position battles that you think are key?
Oklahoma's defensive line versus Alabama's running game on offense.
Okay. If they're able to kind of get stops, especially if they're able to get stops without bringing a ton into the box, I think that's going to be huge for Oklahoma.
Yeah. Very huge.
Before we get predictions for the game, I want to ask you just a couple questions just to see where you go with these, because these are more like fun questions we try to ask just guests. Give me your all-time, if you were to pick one Alabama team just to face, I don't know, the 2019 LSU Tigers or whatever, or you got to win this game, you get to pick your all-time favorite LSU team. Who would it be? What year and why?
Alabama team.
Alabama team. Sorry, my bad. Definitely not LSU. I was thinking, yeah.
Well, that's a good one. I'm gonna have to say 2015 Alabama. I was thinking about 2015 Alabama, 2011 Alabama, and basically 1961 Alabama.
Okay. Who was on the 2015 team?
Well, we got Derrick Henry, our guy Henry,
pretty good.
Becoming our second ever Heisman winner. Man, that was just amazing seeing those guys just bringing that magic. And I remember like a lot of people in 2014 were having hissy fits about Jake Coker not being the starter right away. But Saban's like, no, we're gonna let Coker wait.
Yeah.
And it worked. Because Coker, because of waiting patiently, got us that 2015 Natty.
I think it's weird. It's like I think Nick Saban might know something about coaching.
Oh yeah,
he might be pretty good at that. Who was your next question? Who was your? You get one quarterback, you get one running back, and two wide receivers for your Alabama offense. I don't do tight ends or any foot linemen because I just don't. Who are each at position? One quarterback, two wide receivers, one running back.
Let's see.
For your all-time team.
For my quarterback, I think I'm going to go, and this is really going to blow your minds. Pat Trammell from 1961, from 1959, 1961. He's got that fiery attitude, and he's got natural-born leadership. Running back would be Trent Richardson.
Ooh, over Derrick Henry?
Well, I mean, either him or Derrick
Draw out
Henry.
of a hat. Yeah, kind of you're fine with either. What makes you pick him, though? I'm curious.
Oh, Trammell?
No, Trent Richardson. Just curious about that.
Trent Richardson, he just brings people down.
Obviously, really good.
Looking back at those highlights of 2009, 2010, and 2011, like there was a reason why he was a Heisman runner-up. Although, had it not been for RG3 taking the nation by storm, I think he'd have been the second ever Heisman winner for Alabama. Yeah. And it's just such a shame that the pros didn't work out. But you know what? That's okay. At least he took his shot. At least he's not going the loser way out like certain coaches at Auburn by like, oh, well, my career didn't work out, so I'm going to go into politics.
Well, there you go. All right, then who were your two receivers?
Julio Jones.
Golly, that's a great one.
And Amari Cooper.
Yeah, that'd be solid. Julio Jones was down to Oklahoma and Alabama whenever he committed to OU. He had he had family here in Oklahoma, or his dad. He was I don't know. You never know. Those recruiting rumors get stirred up, and I wasn't too involved. But I remember seeing him, and I was like, man, and then obviously he's as good as he became. And it's just Saban talks about how funny he was to coach as like a leader and a guy that really changed the culture or not changed it, but really solidified it when he got to Alabama. He tells a story, and I know you've heard it, but for Oklahoma fans, of one of the one of the practice sessions they had in the spring. The coaches can't be out there, and this younger receiver drops a pass and kind of just doesn't, doesn't make a big deal about it, just like, whatever. And I mean, Julio just kind of lays into, like, we don't just go and practice with nonchalantly, like, be with a purpose. And he's in like a college or maybe first year in the pros, but a young guy, 23, 22 saying this. And you're like, man, if guys like that are doing it, I have no reason not to come in here and mind my P's and Q's. Derrick Henry on the Bustin' with the Boys podcast he does talks about the same thing. He's like, you got to Alabama and it's harder to do that now in the NIL era, but he goes, you had dudes that would take your spot if you mess up in practice. And there was no, and not only that, but the best players bought into the culture. Like, they all expected you to do that work. It wasn't, no one was too cool. No one was too high flying to not show up and work hard and do what they had to do. And I mean, I'm a big Julio Jones fan just because that story he tells, because he could have really been a big showboat, high society guy if you wanted.
Well, to be
about
the quarterbacks, like for me, whereas like it came down to Bryce Young and Pat Trammell and Jay Barker for me, I was like, I gotta go with Trammell on that one, because it was like he got everybody rolling through 1961. He had that fiery attitude, and kind of get in your face a little bit, but he made sure his guys were motivated, and he was Bear Bryant's favorite player.
It was Bear Bryant. That's fun.
His favorite.
Yeah,
that's cool. Awesome.
Yeah.
A side note: did you see that video of Miss Terry telling Saban to get up?
Oh yeah!
How quickly he got up.
Happy birthday to
up. She's good. Sit up. He said, "Yes, ma'am."
I wanted to play that. I think Terry and Arnold and them had a clip about that.
About I love it.
Said they don't play, man. She don't play about Miss Terry. I mean, it's what you think. I think that's awesome that he did that. He just set up quick too. That was hilarious. But all right, let's get your prediction for the game, and then T and I'll wrap up here in a second. But what is your score, and give us why you think it'll come out the way you're predicting?
I think it's going to be an Alabama 24-21 prediction. I think you're going to see Ty Simpson make just enough clutch plays to get things done for the Crimson Tide. The Oklahoma defensive line is going to put a lot of pressure on Simpson. You're going to see a lot of low scoring in the first quarter, second quarter. I think there's not going to be any score. Like, the only thing you'll see is like a field goal probably in the third quarter. But then fourth quarter, that's where you're really going to see some fireworks from Simpson and Mateer. But as we stated tonight, put enough pressure on QB, you're good to go.
Yep. Did you say, what was the score? I want to write it down.
The score, I think I did 23-20. 23-20. I think there's going to be several field goals.
Yeah.
Because I think both defenses are going to be so good that a lot of people want to settle for field goal.
You said 23-20, Tierney?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
What was yours, Jackson? Sorry, I missed it.
Alabama 24-21.
I like that too.
Yours was 26-23.
And then mine's 26-23. I feel like 26 is too high, and I don't know why, but I do think field goals, and I'm hoping. I just have a feeling.
26?
Huh? You can get there a few ways. Just score 2 points and then field goal your way the rest of the way. You're there.
Okay, yeah. That's
2 touchdowns.
But
I mean, obviously,
oh man, well,
we're basically like a
3-point margin for
3-point difference.
We all three do, don't we? Wow.
Well, he's got it.
As they say, great minds think alike.
Yeah. Listen, I'm excited. I think that there is a lot to look forward to in the game. I think it's going to be, like you're saying, one of those that is a knockdown, kind of drag out. The defenses are too good, I think, to have anyone really, besides, the special teams touchdowns on kickoff or punt. I think both defenses are too good just to get blown out or get the door, beat off of them. And for Oklahoma, it really comes down to, can they establish the run, and does John Mateer just become the guy that he was at the pre-injury? If he can play that way, I think it gives Oklahoma a solid chance. But any last thoughts for let Jackson out? Or?
No, I don't think so. Just as always, thank you, Jackson, for joining us.
Yeah, thanks, man. I appreciate it. You rock.
Well, Thank y'all for having me. I mean, it was fun. I tell you that. Sorry we didn't return the favor, like having y'all for an early preview on the Alabama channel. I was like, crap.
No, you're good.
Oh no, it's okay. Also,
Totally
let
fine.
everybody know where they can find
Yes.
you, as well as your show and all that.
Well, they can find me on Alabama at the Voice College Football Mondays, Tuesdays, Thursdays with Crimson Tide Live, 6 p.m. Central Time. Primetime Live Tuesday nights, 6 p.m. Central Time. The Alabama Call-In Show, as Jeffrey and I take your calls at 9 p.m. Central Time. And, of course, Lucas and I have some adventures going on SEC at the Voice College Football. We're doing the SEC Live Show. That's going to be a fun ride. And you can check me out on Jackson Johnson 979, my personal YouTube, where I've got episodes of the Jackson coming up, including ones with Kyle Loomis from E2C Network. And I'll be filming with Matthew Lennox discussing his takes on Florida State, the Cowboys, much more. And for more updates, what I've got going on Alabama with the Voice College Football, the Jacksonian, SC at the Voice College Football, once a week, twice a week appearances on the Paul Feinbaum Show, and appearances on Lockdown West Virginia with Mountaineer Paul for Jackson's World College Football. Check me out on @/Twitter on Jackson VOCFB. And on Instagram, if there's Jackson Johnson 543908. And note to self, I need to change my Instagram threads handle.
Awesome. Well, hey, you rock, man. We will see you soon. Hopefully we're a little happier Saturday evening than you are. But other than that, wish you all the best.
We hope to keep that tradition going 2 years in a row.
Well, I'll tell you this: I hope Oklahoma doesn't win, but if they do, there is a bright side to it. A possibility of an Oklahoma-Texas playoff game.
That would be sick. And I will say, I think Alabama is still in the playoff hunt, even if they lose.
Let's be honest.
So,
Alabama
it's
can
not
afford to lose to us. So go ahead and do us a favor, and then you can win out the rest, and you'll be fine. You'll still be in the playoff. It's fine.
Pay it forward. One of those things.
Yeah.
Well, and it would be the first time since 1923, when everybody was walking really fast, that Texas Oklahoma would not be played in Dallas. So Texas Oklahoma's been played in Dallas since everybody was depressed for the Great Depression.
They have. Yeah,
I don't know if my heart could handle another OU Texas this year.
That would be so sick.
It'd be
that
cool,
happened.
but
that'd be so
Lord
cool.
have mercy.
Jackson, you rock, man. We're gonna just finish up here, but thank you so much. We'll see you.
Bye.
Thank y'all for having me on.
He is the best, man. I really enjoy him being on. Any last second thoughts here about the OU side of the ball, or what we kind of expect? I think that they can have. I think that they can.
I want to read what somebody put though, because I did screenshot it. I'm just going to shout out who said it. It's Oklahoma. So, he says I'm not saying Oklahoma walks into Tuscaloosa and gets the win next weekend, but let me tell you why it's possible. Again, I'm going to waterboard myself. I need to know all the reasons why it's possible. He said Bama is about as one-dimensional as you can get, which we've mentioned. They average 119 rushing yards per game. It's good for 104th in the country. Oklahoma has one of, if not the best, run defenses in the nation, holding teams to just 78 yards per game, good for 3rd in the country. Bama has allowed 15 sacks this season, good for 63rd in the country. Oklahoma's defense averages 3.7 sacks a game, good for 2nd in the country with a total of 33. Not to mention we also have many tackles for loss. On top of that, he didn't mention that, but I just know that there's been a lot of games we've had.
I think we're leading the nation in tackles for loss.
Double-digit tackles for loss. And then he says Oklahoma has had a strong running game and their last 3 outings, averaging 166 yards per game. Bama allows 149 rushing yards per game, good for 63rd in the country.
I'm trying to find this. God, it's probably just bright as heck now in our face, but I'm trying to find the tackles for loss. I'm pretty sure we are.
Marcus asked what time is the game? 2:30
Central
time.
Yep, 2:30 Central.
If you're in Oklahoma, 2:30.
Where's the total deep? Where's the defensive number? Oh, here we go. Tackles for loss. Yeah, Oklahoma number 1 with 97 tackles for loss.
Looks like almost 11 tackles for loss a game.
We almost averaged 3 more than the next guy. We averaged more than 2.2 more per game than Indiana at number 2. And I'll just say this: we play better offensive lines.
A lot of those are everybody after us is within decimal percentages of each other, and then we're 2.2 above.
Right.
I think of that as a track number. If you're 2.5 seconds faster than someone, that's pretty crazy.
Yeah. The boys are bad up front. I mean, I think the biggest weakness, right? I think the best thing you're most encouraged about for OU is the defensive line for Oklahoma.
Sorry, some people have put their predictions. I just want to kind of put those out there. Stacy says 21-17 OU. Coach Smith, my father-in-law, says 24-17. And I thought there was one more. Maybe there was not. You're going too high.
No, I don't think there was.
I don't think so. Maybe I just thought there was another one. But anyways, if you have a prediction, you can go ahead and drop that in the live chat or in the comments if you're watching this later. After watching the Alabama game last week, I think we will get at least one, if not more, fumble recoveries. They should have fumble 2 more times. They should have had a fumble 2 more times. I was watching that game too, and I was drinking all the hopium. I'm like texting my family, like, I think we can do this. But then I saw them make this like fantastic drive in like 30 seconds. I'm like, oh, well,
yeah,
crap.
Yeah.
And then same thing, they were dropping a lot of passes, and I said, don't worry, guys. They'll catch those next week.
You did.
They're not going to fumble. They're not going to mess up against Oklahoma because, again, they are going to be seeking revenge, and it's in their house, so it's not going to be easy.
William says, I don't like talking.
Oh,
I'm the nice guy. After watching the Bama game, yeah.
Seeing if there's anything else.
Battle of the Trojan fight.
You're not wrong.
Battle of the teams that can't run the ball. 119th, Bama, and 100 OU 90th. I will just say, though, if he's still listening, Trojan, the last 3 games, Oklahoma's really, since X-Rob's been featured and since we've really had an established offensive line, they're averaging 4.5 a carry, 4.8 a carry, actually, and 166 yards a game.
Yeah, and X-Rob has had 2 like breakout touchdowns. Mm-hmm. Well, one he stopped himself, but he would have scored. But he broke through, busted play. I guess I don't know what I'm looking for. And then against Ole Miss, he had the one. So I mean, we are getting there. It's just a matter of keeping it going, which I think we can do.
I do too. I think it's a game that Oklahoma, I don't want to say should win. It's always hard to win these, but I really think it's a game where we go into. It's the first OU Bama game we've gone into where I feel like we can win it. Since I thought we could win in 2018.
Let's say I feel a lot better than I did last year.
Right, and I didn't feel great in 2014. I didn't feel great in last year. It's the first one I've gone into where I think that we can, and I wouldn't be shocked at all. And obviously, I think we will win it, but people think we won't, and that's fine too. I don't know. I just there's a lot that Alabama does well and doesn't do well that I think we can exploit, and they have things on their end that they can exploit. Right. But man, I just with that defense, and I'm overhyping the running game that we have and how encouraged I am by it. But I just think if that continues to develop and even become better, it just puts Oklahoma in such a good spot to not put our defense in a place where the only time the defense has struggled is when the offense plays really badly and it puts them in bad positions. Mm-hmm. So it allows you to complement your defense more. And man, when the defense can play free and know that they have an offense they're giving the ball to that's going to put points on the board, they're even better than what
we did score on every turnover last game.
Well, there you go. Yeah. So score off the turnovers.
It was 2 field goals and then a scoop and score, but still scored.
Only team, we're the number 1 red zone team in the country. We score every time, which isn't easy to do apparently because other teams would be 100%. We're 28 for 28 on the year.
Texas Tech was like 100th in the nation. I was hearing them talk about they're actually not really good in the red zone. And before we get to Zeno zone, Stacy said she hadn't seen the Miss Terry video with Coach Saban, so she wants to see it. So I did share it with Chad, so you can just pull it up here in a little bit. While he's getting that set up, just want to reiterate again to please like the video. I'll give you 3 seconds to like it. 3, 2, 1. Thank you. And then subscribe to our channel. Share the video whenever you can. Repost it. That really helps us out a lot. And then as well as follow us on our own personal X accounts and then the Voice of College Football account as well. Check out the merch store. Become a member. All the good things, man. So just, anyways. So there's 260 views right now, and I'm sure most of you are probably on X. So just jump on over, use the link,
it's in the chat, the video. It's in the comment.
It would really, really help us. It won't take any time out of your day. Won't take anything away from you. And it really, really, really does help us a lot. So anyways, without further ado, here is Miss Terry and Coach Saban. Look at the dogs.
I think you can hear it. I'm not sure. I'll turn
it up. To you, happy birthday to you. Sit up. Happy birthday, dear Dada. Happy birthday.
That's hilarious. Shut up. Sorry, let's do this.
Get
Yeah,
not that it
that's what
matters.
the deal says.
I know, yeah. But I was saying you and Jackson were saying get up. I'm like, I think she says sit up.
Oh, my bad.
But not
yeah,
that it's
sit
like
up.
it's a big difference, but I love it. He was
That's awesome.
quick too.
He
Said,
did.
yes, ma'am.
I mean, Terry and Arnold and them had such a funny thing they said about it too. Where
Happy wife, happy life.
Yeah.
He said something about he would talk about I didn't sleep well because Miss Terry let the dog sleep in the bed because the dogs weren't feeling well, so I slept on the couch, which got me thinking. I'm sure Coach Saban can afford more than one bed.
Yeah,
why was he
I'm
sleeping
sure
on a
some of those are
couch?
just fables. Yeah, it's hilarious.
He was like, "Yes, dear, absolutely, Stacy."
I'm trying to find if I can find that video. I thought I sent it to y'all. Maybe
That one, yeah.
Yeah, this is it. This is funny.
Does this cuss?
Oh wait, maybe. Yeah, we might not want to do that. Oh wait, we'll play it next week if we beat them. It'd just be funny. Other than that, I think it's time for everyone's favorite segment. And I haven't seen these, so I'm curious who he picks.
Oh yeah. Also, if you're wanting to make the picks along with him, his picks this week are of course Oklahoma, Alabama, his Texas, Georgia, Notre Dame, Pitt, USC, Iowa, and TCU, BYU. So let me go ahead and put that in the chat if I can as well. Last time it hated me. But vote along with him.
Is it working? Yeah, just as it comes by, you can throw it in there. All right, let's get it started. Zeno Zone, week 12, I believe. Yep. Oh. Wow. Little Benedict.
I know. He's maybe going for the reverse jinx because he picked Tennessee.
True.
Last week.
Very true.
And yeah, I was very sad. I said, no, Zeno. Because when he was looking at it, because when you see him at the beginning, he's like looking back and forth. Like he looks like he's really staring down OU's and he just like last minute switches. I'm like, no, buddy.
Tough.
But hey, he didn't pick Texas, so
yeah. So
I want him to be wrong on USC. So that was even more heartbreaking because I think I did the OU pick second, like in my recording, because I have to just set out the cards and they're confusing. So whatever I see first, I grab. And I think the next one he picked was like the USC game. I'm like, you got to be kidding me, dog. So then on the Texas one, I'm like, sir, please don't. Don't do this to me. Don't make me put all of them. But honestly, William, I would kind of like to see Pitt win because I'm so tired of seeing Notre Dame get put in the playoff for what?
Well, and they're setting it up to just be one of those, a big win on College game day, national spotlight. You get a big win against Pitt. It's just to help the committee justify putting them in. So you would love to see Pitt win that game and kind of just shut the door on them being in. It's just so stupid that they have 2 hard games a year. They lose both of them, and then they run the table on mediocre competition and get in. I mean, I don't know. I just think it's totally, ridiculous. But
he says, Stacy says, what is his record, T? 37-20.
That's pretty good.
So he went 5-0 last week, and I think the week before that he went 4-1, maybe. But he did pretty well.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, and diehard Sooner fans, don't forget that the women's basketball team play at 9:30 against UCLA.
Tonight?
Yep.
Dang.
Isaiah will be tuning in. I might be asleep by 10,
Yep.
but I'll do my best. I'm old. I'm old and building a human. So I'm very tired.
Time for a new dog.
No. He's an.
That's awesome.
Look, I was saying to Chad and in the Alabama podcast that like I will never probably go on video and not pick Oklahoma.
Hey,
Like it's just I don't know. I don't want to be videoed going against my team, but my college pick'ems are a different story. What I pick on that is between me and God.
Yeah. I've kept it real with OU, so which is probably why I'm not, I've lost a couple. But other than that, everybody, we have enjoyed our show. We've enjoyed having you all again. Hopefully you guys have a great week. We have a great weekend and are happy watching not only OU win, but Texas lose to Georgia, which would be even better. And Notre Dame lose and USC lose and all that happens.
Yeah, since we're the 2:30 game, hopefully we can be happy and then be happier when we go to bed.
Oh, no joke.
I'll be snug as a bug.
I am glad it's on a night game in Tuscaloosa.
Yeah.
It's awesome.
William, Zeno and I are going to go to Vegas next year.
Yeah, no joke. Seriously. Other than that, you guys rock. We will see y'all we'll see you for the post game after on Saturday.
Yeah, and then so after, I just want to go ahead and mention it now. We do have the post game, of course, on Saturday. Again, we hope we are happy, and if not, we will all vent together and feel better when we get off. But on Monday, we will be joined by some of you love her, some of you love to hate her, Maggie Johnson from Missouri. She is a Missouri podcaster. She's a Missouri, I don't want to say personality on X, and she will be joining us to preview the Missouri game. But that's just to look forward to in the future. But most importantly, let's hopefully get this dub this weekend.
Right. Awesome. Well, with that, you guys have a good one. Oh, yeah. Put malt or shake in the in the YouTube comments, by the way.
Shake.
I'm a milkshake guy. Malt or, it's like dusty. Y'all have, just kidding. Y'all have a fantastic weekend. I agree, Lance Flore. It is this weekend's game is the most important game in a long time. 100% right. And Oklahoma hopefully gets the dub. If not, then like she said, we'll be out there to vent with everyone. You guys rock. Have a blessed week, and we will see you see you Saturday.
Yep.
Boomer.
Boomer.